A year ago, the electric vehicle market was booming, with growth reaching about 90%. The government had ambitious goals, aiming to make two-thirds of new vehicles all electric by 2032. Manufacturers were gearing up for significant investments in EVs. However, today, the market growth has slowed to just 15%. Not only that, but even dealers are reluctant to sell EVs. Could we see that the collapse of EVs has started? Probably, because the EV market is way worse than we thought. And here are 7 reasons why. At number 7, government policy reversals. The FAST plan to make more electric cars didn't work. About a year ago, the EPA suggested new rules to make pollution standards stricter. They wanted to encourage people to buy electric cars and have them be the most common type of transport quickly. The plan was to have two-thirds of new cars be electric by 2032. But after seeing how many electric cars were sold last year and in January, it was clear this wouldn't happen. Now, the EPA has made some new rules that aren't as strict. Under the new plan, the goal is to have only a third of the market using electric cars by 2032. This also includes plug-in hybrids, some people say. The rules for how much pollution cars can make are not as strict now. The new aim is to reduce carbon emissions by 49%, instead of the first plan, to reduce them by 56%. Even though it may not seem like a big change, a 7% difference can make a difference. It helps car companies avoid paying extra taxes for being less green. Also, it lets the market for electric cars grow more slowly. This means big car companies like the Big Three can keep making their pickup trucks without making big changes. And big trucks that use a lot of fuel can keep using gasoline and diesel for a long time. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, do well to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to show your support. If you've done that, let's continue. Number 6, collapse in electric pickup segment. The market for electric pickup trucks crashed. Out of all the electric cars, pickups are doing the worst. While other electric cars are still selling, pickups are not. Rivian, a company that makes electric pickups, is a good example. They were one of the first to make electric pickups, but not many people are buying them. Sales started to go down in 2023. This year, the company sold 14% fewer pickups than last year, with a total of 11,360. In January, they only sold 762. A big drop of 43% compared to last year. If this keeps up, Rivian might only sell around 9,000 R1T pickups this year. Legacy car makers like the old and big car companies aren't doing much better either. It's possible you heard that Ford cut back on making the F-150 Lightning. Now they only use one production line, and 1,400 workers had to move to other jobs. Meanwhile, GM only sold 213 all-electric Silverados in January. They won't start making a lot of them until maybe late 2025, according to the latest news. It's pretty clear electric pickups aren't as good as ones with internal combustion engines. Car companies made the same mistake with electric cars before, focusing on luxury. But that doesn't work with pickups because truck buyers are practical. They want good towing and payload capacity, convenience, usefulness, and good value for their money. Electric pickups cost too much and don't perform as well, especially when towing or under heavy use. So it's not surprising that they aren't selling well. Number 5, money loss. Car companies are spending a lot of money. Ford and GM, for example, have been putting billions of dollars into electric cars. But even with all that money, they haven't found a way to make electric cars profitable. There are a few reasons for this. Batteries, which are a big part of electric cars, are expensive, and it's hard for car companies to make them efficiently. Because of these challenges, car companies are losing a lot of money. Almost every car company, except Tesla, is losing money on electric cars right now. Some are losing a little, and others are losing a lot. Ford is a good example. They lost about $36,000 on every F-150 Lightning they sold last year. Because of this, they lost more than $5 billion in 2023. Things got so bad that the Blue Oval Company is delaying their plans to invest in electric cars in 2024 just to save money. Some people say they've delayed investments worth $12 billion planned for this year. GM is facing similar challenges. They pushed back making the all-electric Silverado and Sierra trucks to 2025. Also, they won't start making the new drive unit until the end of this year. Number 4, the decline in market growth. Dealers are not happy about selling electric cars. Dealers know the market really well, and if you see how they behave, it's clear that something isn't right with electric cars. Not many dealers are excited about selling them. In fact, most dealers don't even want to sell electric cars, according to recent studies. Things are so bad that dealers have chosen to accept money to close their shops instead of selling electric cars. This happened with Buick. They wanted dealers to sell electric cars, but it didn't work out well. In 2023, about half of the Buick dealers had to close. This shows a big problem. Firstly, there are too many electric cars compared to the number of people who want to buy them. This means there's a lot of extra supply sitting around. In the US, there's enough supply for about 114 days, which is twice as long as last year and almost twice as long as gas cars. Given the slow demand, it's not surprising that many Ford dealers don't want to sell electric cars. It's a big commitment for them. They have to spend about $1 million on things like charging stations and training programs for electric cars. Selling electric cars also takes more time and effort. Plus, because of big discounts, there's not much opportunity to make extra money from selling them. Number 3, massive discounts. The EV market's troubles were clear by the third quarter of last year when Tesla lowered its prices by a lot, making its electric cars much cheaper. This showed that the market was slowing down. Tesla had to offer big discounts to sell its 2023 cars, and other car makers had to do the same to keep up. Even before these discounts, car makers were losing money. Ford was one of the first to lower prices, following Tesla's lead with its electric F-150 Lightning. The discounts are so big, up to $15,000 lower than the original price. So it's not surprising that the Blue Oval Company lost over $5 billion on electric cars just in 2023. Then the government changed the rules for the federal tax credit. When it became clear that most electric cars wouldn't qualify for it, car makers started offering big discounts to attract buyers. Now, almost every electric car sells for less than the original price. For example, the Mercedes-Benz EQE SUV gets an average discount of about $10,000, and BMW often sells for $9,000 less than the asking price. Mainstream companies like Volkswagen and Hyundai offer discounts of $3,000 or more on models like the ID.4 and Ioniq 5. Number 2, stock market volatility. When Tesla's stocks drop, it's a big deal. Tesla is the most valuable EV car company globally. So if Tesla has problems, it affects the whole electric car industry. The first few months of this year haven't been good for the company, which is based in Austin. In addition to cutting prices a lot, which reduces how much money they make, Tesla is having problems in China. BYD, another company, started a price war there, which is hard for Tesla to keep up with. Plus, sales are slowing down in North America, and there's a big demand for smaller, cheaper electric cars. All of this worries investors. So it's not surprising that Tesla's shares have been dropping a lot lately. Just in the first few weeks of March, they fell by 7.2% to $188. Looking at the whole quarter gives a clearer picture. Stocks have dropped by 24% since the year began. Many big car companies are dealing with similar issues, especially American ones that spent a lot of money on electric cars that didn't work out. Things are so tough that in November, GM said they would buy back shares worth $10 billion to try to win back investors' trust. Number 1, inability to meet customer demands. Electric cars aren't meeting what customers want. A clear sign that the electric car market might crash came from a recent survey by the Boston Consulting Group. The study showed what many people already suspected. The electric cars available now aren't good enough to be the main way people travel. The study found that around 40% of customers want to switch to electric cars, but they have strict standards. They're looking for an electric car that costs $50,000, can go at least 350 miles on one charge, and takes less than 20 minutes to charge. Do you know how many electric cars meet all the requirements right now? Just one. The Hyundai Ioniq 6 SE rear-wheel drive long range is the only one. So it's quite obvious that the industry has a long way to go before EVs become appealing to average consumers. Alright, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We'll see you in the next video.